Logarithms. What are they? What are they? How many of this number do we multiply to get that number using powers? Why? To determine the degree of acidity or alkalinity. Interesting fact, the madrigal is the largest type of monkey, with adults weighing up to 35 kilograms or 77 pounds. So, what are logarithms? First, let's start with the question. How many of this number do we multiply to get that number using powers? Keep that in mind. First, let's start with 1 2. Now 2 2s, 3 2s, 4 2s, and finally 5 2s. What does that equal? 2 to the 5 or 32. Let's make it a little cleaner by writing just 2 to the 5 is equal to 32. Now, this is where logarithm comes into play. When using it in questions, we just use log or log. Now, let's write 2 to the 5 is equal to 32 as a log. What do we think is the base of 2 to the 5 is equal to 32? That is correct, the number 2. So log will keep the same base. Now, we put the output or our answer of 2 to the 5 is equal to 32 as our input for the log, which is 32. Now, let's go back to the question. How many of this number, 2, do we multiply to get that number, 32, using powers? So what is the answer to that question? That is correct, 5. So we set the log of 32 with base 2 and set it equal to 5. What happens if we want to go the other way? In this example, we are given a logarithm, and we want to convert it to an exponential. So let's read the question again. How many of this number, 3, do we multiply to get that number, 81, using powers? So let's answer the question. One way is to draw an arrow from the base, which is 3 in this case, to the output or answer of the log, which is 4. Now we can write down 3 to the 4 and set it equal to 81. Notice how the bases are the same, which is 3 for both of them. And the input of the log, 81, is the output for 3 to the 4. Now, let's break down 81 how we started the video. 81 is 3 to the 4, which is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which answers the question, how many of this number do we multiply to get that number using powers? So now we know logarithms are just a fancy way of doing multiplication. Now it is your turn, so go ahead and pause the video here so you can take your time to answer these questions, and I will show you the results in 3, 2, and 1. Did you get it correct? Awesome. If not, there's always tomorrow.